Mordechai, this is the second part of the video. ויבז בעיניו לשלוח יד במרדכי לבדו, כי הגידו לו את עם מרדכי, that's the last pasuk, ויבקש המן להשמיד את כל היהודים, אשר בכל מלכות אחשוורוש, עם מרדכי.
However, it seemed contemptible to him to send his hand against Mordechai alone, for they had told him of the people of Mordechai.
So, after seeing that, Haman says, that's not enough for me to deal with Mordechai alone. I'm going to kill, destroy, annihilate the entire Jewish nation. Mordechai, what are you doing? This crazy guy going to do crazy things against us. Now he is planning something against us. And the Psukim testified that that was his plan. And at the very end of the pasuk, it says, Am Mordechai, the people of Mordechai. I want to punish Mordechai, and the people that belongs to Mordechai. Okay, this is psukim, simple explanation. We didn't really investigate every word. That's not my intention right now. So what we got here, Haman become high official, right? Second to the king. Mordechai is not obeying the law by not bowing to him. Haman get upset. Now he wants to kill not only Mordechai, but the entire people of Israel, God forbid. Okay? This is the story. Now let's go back many, many, many years before this story happened to another story that happens between two brothers. One day, Avram Avinu died, passed away. Yitzchak is mourning. Yitzchak is son, he sits Shiva. So the custom is even today to serve a special food to the mourners. I don't know in Ashkenazi communities, but in Sephardi and Yemenite, there's special food you provide them, and they're not supposed to cook. They mourn, the community take care of them, okay? The family and the community. What? Lentils, right. So they do lentil soup. For a reason, the round showing, symbolizing the world is round. I don't want to get into it. Yaakov is making that soup. What was the color of the soup? Red. Why do I care if it's red or green or blue? Every word in the Tanakh counts. But the story is, everybody probably when they read the story, they are imagining Yaakov is stirring the pot. And then Eysav, oh, give me something to eat, give me something to eat. Okay, sit down. I'll pour you a cup. And a conversation started between these two brothers. At the same day, Eysav committed 5 horrible sins. Killing someone, being intimately with a girl, that's actually raping, okay? Horrible things. Kadosh Baruch Hu took Avraham before, so he won't see his grandson messing up like that. So Avraham died, I don't know if a day, hours or a day before. Yaakov is not willing to give Eysav anything before they're making an agreement. What was the agreement? Everybody knows? Birthright. Sell me this birthright, you get a food. How you can sell birthright? If he born first, he is first. He always be called Bechor, the firstborn. How you can sell something like that? Can you do that today? So what is he selling? What's the answer? What's the, there's any
The blessings.
The right.
the right.
Right.
What's the meaning of the right? Even back then, the Bechor considered as a very important person after the father. This custom is still today, 2024, in some communities, even in Jewish communities, especially in Arab communities. Okay? In Yemen, when the Jews were influenced by the Arabs, you can see the same way. When the son becomes 17, 18, 20, he takes control over the house. He also brings parnasa. Usually they live close by, if not in the house, after getting married. So the family grows, but close by. And who takes most responsibility? The Bechor and his brothers. He become like the Abba now. All the troubles go to the Bechor. And they have a lot of rights. Back then, whoever were allowed to sacrifice was the Bechorim. Till Israel lost the right due to the golden calf sins. And from this point on, the Kohanim got the right to sacrifice. Yes. Before that, prior to that, the Bechor would do it. It's nothing to do with the priesthood family. When Mashiach comes, Be'ezrat Hashem, it's going to go back to the Bechor. The Bechor is a very important person in the house. This is why, one of the reasons many Jews want to have a Ben Bechor. Because they have rights, they have special status. So, I'm going to read from Bereshit, open Bereshit. Genesis, right? 25, 31. 25, 31. What was the conversation between Jacob and Eysav? And how is that related to Mordechai and Haman? What's the connection? Let's read first what happened there. Did you find it? Genesis 25, 31.
It's on
page
59 and 58.
No, 57.
57. Okay. 57. Okay.
Did you say 25, 31?
Yeah.
25, verse 31. Okay, I'm reading the Hebrew. Vayazed, the first word is Vayazed.
Yaakov said.
Wait. I just read the first word. Vayazed Yaakov Nazir, talking about the lentil soup that he's making. Vayazed Yaakov Nazir, Vayavo Eysav min hasade, vehu ayef.
Yaakov said, "Sell as this day your birthright to me." That's 31. You want me to read before that?
31. Did you read 31?
Yes, that's what 31 is in this book.
What's 31 in Hebrew?
Lamed Aleph.
Lamed Aleph.
No, I'm sorry, I messed it up. It's Genesis 25, 29.
Okay. Yaakov simmered a stew, and Eysav came in from the field, and he was exhausted.
Exhausted. The Mefarshim says why he was exhausted. Okay? What was that special? Every day he comes from the field, but today he's exhausted. Why? We all know. Vayomer Eysav el Yaakov. He sees that he is making food. He doesn't care about mourners, eating shiva, someone died, his beloved grandpa. He wants to eat. His whole, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, surround him. The energy that comes out of Eysav is very negative. ויאמר עשיו אל יעקב, הלעיתני נא מן האדום הזה, כי עייף אנוכי, על כן קרא שמו אדום.
Eysav said to Yaakov, "Pour into me now some of that very red stuff, for I am exhausted." He therefore called his name Edom. Edom
Means red in Hebrew, and Edom also the name of the nation of Eysav. Because Edom came from Eysav. Edom of today, Europe, they're relating it more to the Christian side, when Ishmael is the Muslim side. Okay? Not all of them, not all. ויאמר יעקב, מכרק היום את בכורתך לי. The conversation started. This guy wants food, and he is talking. Too much talking. Give me food.
Yaakov said, "Sell as this day your birthright to
Right.
me."
So Yaakov sees an opportunity, and he sees also that this guy doesn't worth to have such a great thing that's called Bechor. Okay? ואומר עשיו, הנה אנוכי הולך למות, ולמה לי זה בכורה?
Look, and Esau said, "Look, I'm going to die, so of what use to me is a birthright?"
What do I need the birthright? I'm going to die anyway. What kind of benefit I get? There's too much responsibility over my shoulder. It's not for me. I'm a busy guy. But Yomer Yaakov, so he agreed, but Yaakov knows with whom he's dealing with, so he wants to have an agreement, and he wants to hear an oath, a swear. ויאמר יעקב, ישבע לי כיום, וישבע לו, וימכור את בכורתו ליעקב.
Yaakov said, "Swear to me as this day." He swore to him and sold his birthright to Yaakov.
Finish. Yaakov technically is not the firstborn, but now he got all the right with all the responsibility. And the Torah testified that was the deal, and the deal is done and sealed. See, by the way, the power of speech. They were talking. Considers the agreement. An oath. It's an agreement. Okay, finishing the last pasuk. יעקב נתן לעשיו לחם ונזיד עדשים ויאכל וישת ויקום וילך ויבז עשיו את הבכורה.
Yaakov gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank, got up and left. Thus Esau spurned the birthright.
When he swore to him, so the agreement was to put the hand under the thigh, like Avram did with Eliezer, and we saw it a few times also in the whole Tanakh and the Bible, that this is an agreement that is acceptable, it's very special, very strong. Finish. Birthright belongs to Yaakov. Okay. After that, Yaakov is getting to get the blessing from his father. The blessing of Eysav. So we all know what happened. He dressed up like the wicked Eysav, using this goat skin, okay, because Eysav was hairy. As it says, "Vatikach Rivka et bigdei Eysav bena." Go to Genesis 27:15. Genesis 27:15. ותיקח רבקה את בגדי עשיו בנה הגדול החמודות אשר איתה בבית, ותלבש את יעקב בנה הקטן, ואת אורות גידי העזים הלבישה על ידיו ועל חלקת צוואריו.
Rivka then took her older son Esav's clean garments, which were with her in the house, and clothed Yaakov, her young son.
Okay. So Yitzchak is not sure, it's Yaakov, it's Yitzchak. The way these guys talk is different. It's like my Yaakov, but he smells and feels like Esau. So he's not sure yet. In the meantime, the food is been served to Yitzchak. And the next pasuk is going to be from the same chapter 25, verse 25. Chapter 27, 25. ויאמר הגיש עלי ואוכנה מצאת בני למען תברכך נפשי ויגש לו ויאכל ויבא לו יין וישת.
He said, "Serve me, and let me eat of my son's gain, that my soul may bless you." So he served him and he ate.
Okay, so now the story.
He brought him wine and he
Okay, our story actually starts from this point. Listen what happened. He got the blessings, the best blessing in the world. As soon as he leaves, Esav comes in. Esav was on the field trying to catch a deer or something, but Hashem from Shamayim, they're preventing him from catching a deer. Esau was a great hunter, but today it was not his lucky day. So what he did, he took a dog, a female dog, he shechted, skin it, serve it to his father. If you don't believe me, look at Targum Yonatan, Targum Yonatan, the Aramaic side. Give you all the details what happened there. We're not going to focus here why and what happened, but he is serving dog to his father. Baruch Hashem, thank God, Yitzchak is already full. He already ate. Just a few minutes ago. So all is good. He's coming, and he's talking to his father. Abba, I'm here. Please stand up. I'm coming. I'm giving you food. Get ready. Wash hands. Who are you? Eysav. So who was before you? Screaming, and Yitzchak and Eysav, what he says about Eysav? Okay. ויחרד יצחק חרדה גדולה מאוד, היו אומר, who came with the food before you? And I blessed him, and he got the blessing, גם ברוך יהיה. He didn't curse, חס ושלום יעקב. He says, he'll be blessed. You want to read it?
Then his father Yitzchak said to him, come close, if you please, and kiss me, my son.
No, this is after. Okay, never mind. Let me just give, I don't want to waste time on that, but you get the idea. Get to the point when Esav heard, when Esav heard these words coming out of his mouth, what did he do? Vayitzak, what?
Bless me too, Father.
How did they translate it? Bitterly cried out. Vayecherad. First, he was troubled, and he says Vayitzak. He was screaming. Vayitzak in Hebrew, screaming called. How you say screaming? Litzok, tze'aka, tza'ak, tzadik, ayin, kuf. He was screaming, Vayitzak, tza'aka, gedola, umara, ad me'od. Great scream. What happened? What do you care about blessing? You're screaming, you get so upset. You care about this, you just sold your birthright. It seems like you said you don't care about it. Eysav knows the value of his father's blessing. You know what he misses. He got very upset.
What would have happened?
Wait a second. He got very upset. We can learn only what happened on this story. Maybe, I would say, I'm not exaggerating, 3 to 4 classes. Just what happened there. There's so many questions. Did he notice how did he serve dog? And Yaakov is lying, is cheating, not cheating. Yes, I am. I don't want to go there now. It's not what we want to focus on. We want to focus on Esav's response. Esav is standing there, helpless, and he did something that till today, 2024, we pay the price. What did he do? After screaming, it says the following. Please read 27:38. 27:38 in Genesis. Vayomer Esav el aviv, הברכה אחת היא לך אבי, ברכני גם אני אבי. Vayisa Esav kolo vayev.
And Esav said to his father, have you but one blessing, Father? Bless me too, Father. And Esav raised his voice and wept. Abba, you have one blessing. Give me also the blessing. And what happened? What's the last words of this pasuk? He raised his voice and wept. He was crying out loud. The Midrash says 3 tears came out of his eyes. Right, left, and from Shamayim they blocked the third one. It remained inside the eye. Didn't come down. From these tears, we suffer till today. Even King David is talking about that in his Psalms.
the power of tears. Fine. How is that related to Mordechai and Haman? But if I say that the tears are related even to us today, it has to be also connected to the time of Haman, Mordechai. The Midrash says that these 3 tears that came down show that Eysav really appreciates the value of Yitzchak's blessings. And he felt very, very upset, and this is why he cried. But how is that related to us, these tears? So, I'm going to read for you the Midrash. The Midrash says, in Yalkut Shimoni, on the Parashat Toldot, 115. 3 tears came down from Eysav. 1 to the right, 1 to the left, and 1 remained in the eye. And from these tears, we're suffering till today, as it says in Psalms, Uchakemo bedma'ot shelish. Israel said the Midrash, Eysav the wicked, for shedding 3 tears from heaven, a lot of mercy. He opened a channel of mercy on him. What did he do? Just tears. But sincere tears. Real one. And he got so much benefits and blessings in his life. Later, descendants become kings, inherited land. Ooh. The Midrash says, we crying every day. Billions of tears compares to Eysav tears. Why we don't get half of what he gets? Anu shedim'oteinu tadirim, we crying every day and night. It's like a bread for us, like eating bread and breakfast. Alachat kama v'chayim, even more so. The Midrash says, the reward for those who cry, it's even greater. Going to be greater. It says in Psalms, Tehillim 42:4, King David says, Haitali dim'ati, my tears was to me. Okay, my tears has been my food day and night. Haitali dim'ati lechem, yomam v'layla. David says, I'm crying every day and night. King David, when he was praying, he was crying. He knows how to do prayers with tears, with joy, everything. All techniques. And then later it says in Psalms 39:13, El dim'ati al techerash, Hashem, don't be silent to my tears. First, we learn from here that tears has power. Right? We all know when Talmud says that, I think Baba Metzia, that after the destruction of the temple, first temple, all gates in Shamayim closed. Only one gate is open. Tears. The gates of tears. Kol sha'arim, gates, na'alu, beside the tears. If you cry sincerely, you open a special channel directly to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Hashem. Bypass all blocks. Even Eysav, the wicked, Hashem listened to his tefillot. Now, I want to stop here at this point. We'll make the connection in a minute. I would like to share with you a story from the Talmud. I'm telling you, it's a very strange story. I know it's going to raise a lot of questions. I don't think I will be able to give you an answer that will satisfy you. But it is what it is. The tractate Ketuvot, page 62, Samech Bet, tells us about the great rabbi, a great tzaddik. He has a wonderful wife. The name of the rabbi was Rav Rahumi. Rahumi in Aramaic, it's loving, love. That was his name. He was studying Torah in a place called Mehoza and the yeshiva of Rava. A great tzaddik studying and a greater tzaddik than him. This is something. Electricity in the air when they studying Torah. It's something else. Rav Achumi loved nothing but Torah. He was very dedicated to Torah learning. Not 8 hours a day and then going home, all day long, till it collapses. His wife loved Torah very much and loved her husband. She knew what he loves. So they made an agreement. The agreement is, go ahead and study Torah. Maybe she thought that one day you'll become a great Rabbi, and for that you need to sacrifice. And they agreed that he'll go all the way to Mechoza, and he will study Torah and come back home every
Friday.
Once a year.
Oh, yeah.
Once a year. In the eve of Yom Kippur. He chose that day, don't ask me why. Eve of Yom Kippur, he will come. And he was doing that. She was waiting for him every year. He would come Yom Kippur and leaving right after. He elevated himself to very high levels. Dedication to Torah and Torah only. And they made an agreement. And you can imagine that every eve of Yom Kippur, his wife was waiting from the window to see where her husband comes before Kol Nidre, before the Tefillah, he had to prepare himself, got to eat, Seudah, mikveh. No. So he has to come hours before. One day, the Talmud says, Mashcha shemateta. Mashcha shemateta, meaning he was studying Torah. And then he says, wow, took another book, sitting. He was so focused and dedicated to the Torah learning, he didn't look at the watch. Time passes. His wife's waiting for him once a year. At the time they agreed that he would come, he's not coming. He's not coming, he's not coming, he's not coming. Bottom line, he missed that day. He didn't show up. She go to shul to pray for mincha, and there was a prayer. She shed a tear. She was very sad. Her husband didn't show up. The Talmud says, when she started to cry, Rachumi was on a balcony, roof balcony like. As soon as tears came down, the roof shook, and he fell down on his neck, broke his neck, died. Due to her, to his wife's tears. You have a lot of questions now, right? She was crying. But now she lost her husband. And why you didn't come? Why, what happened with you? That's the story. So Reb Chaim Shmulevitch in the shul in the yeshiva used to scream this story every time, every year. And he says, Ma hi, what she gained out of it? She cried, she had tears, her husband died. Now she lost her husband for good. Reb Chaim Shmulevitch says, what she gained out of it? She became a very lonely widow. But he says, when tears come down from sincere pain and sorrow, fires comes up. Ish. Even if she didn't want it, the tears cause her husband to die. This is the power of tears, whether you like it or not. The consequences of this story was horrible. I told you it's going to raise a lot of questions. But the Talmud trying to show us what's the power of tears. We can discuss later the cheshbon and all that, only Hashem knows. This is called Omek Hadin, the depth of the judgment. the severeness of the judgment. If you met someone upset, and he cried because of you, shed tears, you're going to have a big problem. You have to be careful. We can learn a lesson today. You can cause someone tears from laughter, that's a different story.
And that's okay.
It's very good.
Okay.
But to cause someone so much pain that he will cry, it can cause big issues. Tov. Because the power of the tears, Rav Shmuelevitz said, penetrate all the way through all the screens and the blocks, all the way to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Remember I mentioned that last Shabbat, the power of tears, that it's easier to daven, to pray with tears than with joy. It's easier. It's close to, everyone has his own package, his own troubles, his own problems. With joy, it's a little bit, you have to find what to hold on to. Make you so happy that you can now dance in spite of all the issues and the problems that you have. It's a different level, it's a higher level. Anyways, it says in the tractate Baba Metzia, in page Nuntet, Amud Aleph, 59 Amud Aleph, Sha'are Dima, the gates of Dima didn't locked. They're still open till today. I heard one says, if they're still open, why you need to have gates? You don't have to have gates if they're still open. So I heard an interesting answer that there's some people that crying sincerely for a good reason, and some people crying out of, jealousy. I have Lexus only 2022 and my neighbor 2024. 24! What is this? It's better than me. For these guys, Hashem need to close. This is not a real and sincere way. It kept open for those who really need it. You heard about the Taz Turei Zohov, is one of the great phenomenal rabbis that on the Shulchan Aruch wrote comments. Every Shulchan Aruch has Taz on it. Turei Zohov, he lived in Poland in the 1600s, in 1648, 1640 something. And at his time was what we call Praot Tach and Tat. In these days, they killed many Jews. The Russian and the Poland and from Sweden, all the people around. They killed thousands, and it's well known as the days of Tach and Tat. It's related to the date, anyways. So the Goen, Rabbi David Segal, his name was Rabbi David Segal, it was something else. He left with his family to save his life. And he told his wife, listen, everything Hashem does is for a good reason, for the best. So you know what, I'm going to a place nobody knows me. Back then, they didn't have TVs. If you didn't see the rabbi, you didn't know what the rabbi looks like, right? Imagine to yourself, you hear about Trump, but I don't know if anybody in this room ever saw Trump. You could hear, if you have no TV, we know how he looks like. You can pass by here, we don't know this Trump. You get the idea here, right? So the Taz, Rabbi David Segal, left and he agreed with his wife not to tell about his identity. He says that he wants to live with modesty, quietly, and he can be focused more on Torah and so forth and so on. So they left far away from there, to a far city, when it was quiet, living there nicely, quietly. And one day he sees his wife upset. What happened to you? You look like your face is like Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. What's going on? She said to him, well, I owe my neighbor money, and I can't find money to give it back to her. I feel very bad. I don't sleep at night. He says, you know what? I'm going to find a job. So he went to the shechita, the slaughterhouse, and offered himself as menaker. You know what menaker is? Menaker, nikur. Nikur is what Shaul Govea is doing, for example. Okay? Nikur, menaker, is a guy that is expert in removing forbidden fat from a certain part of the animal's body. Okay, so he did that, and they noticed really quickly that this guy knows what he's doing, and he knows exactly which part to get out, and he's very quick. He's like an expert. And immediately they noticed that he also answers questions to the people while they're talking about halacha, and they noticed that he knows a lot of Torah, and they start to ask him a lot of questions, and then the shochet came with the question. They saw this guy is like an encyclopedia, you said. Encyclopedia, yeah. In Hebrew, we say encyclopedia. Encyclopedia, walking encyclopedia. He knows all the halachot, all the opinion, and he gives them right away the bottom line. The halacha says, do that. Okay. For weeks, everybody coming to him. They're saying, this guy is phenomenal. The Rabbi of the city noticed that for some weeks, people are not coming to him to ask questions. What's going on here? They look at the window. He says, I was in the minyan today. So people came to minyan. And yesterday, people come to Shabbos. What's up with that? So he made a quick investigation. And he was told that there's Menaker, new guy in town. He knows how to solve problem quickly and is really good. He says, what? Chutzpah! There's a Rebbe in town. You ask the Rebbe. The halacha. You don't override. It's not appropriate. So what happened was, the rumor of what happens, flew around the camp. Everybody knows. And the whole city came to see this mechutzav, this chutzpahdik person. What they did with him, they put him in what they called Amud Hakalon. Pillory, or pillory, I don't know what they call it. Pillory or pillory, it's the shame post. In the evil days, you see pictures of people that their hands and everybody that passed by will throw on you or spit on you. There's different methods of a shame post. You could be tied to it, you could be with the hands, just the head, different methods. I don't know how was it in Lebov, in the time of the Taz, but he was cornered in the shame. This is the Gadol Ador. The Rebbe of the city is not compared to his, I don't want to say shoes, but it's no comparison at all. So she didn't say anything. He asked her not to say anything. So he's standing there, and people after davening go there and say, "Pooh, it's chutzpah." They're spitting about Gadol Ador. They don't even know who is the Taz, Rabbi David Segal. He's accepting all this abuse. For him, it's a tikkun, it's a rectification. He knows what he's doing. He's not telling who is the Taz. You ask every rabbi in the college, tell them who's the Taz, they'll tell you. You can't study the Shulchan Aruch without looking at the Taz. Taz is the abbreviation, the acronym of the word Turei Zahav. Taz. Anyways, one day, a young girl came with a chicken to ask the rabbi. It's common. Myself as a child, we did the shechita to ducks. So we had a question, so I took it in a carton box to the Rabbi to ask if we had a shaila. So Rabbi Paskan, yes or no? I don't know, okay? You don't ask the shochet, because the shochet is biased. We tell you it's good. You have to ask someone that will tell you the real halacha. Kosher or not kosher. With the chicken, you lose some, but if it's a whole cow, it's a lot of money. Anyways, So this young girl, back then everybody were poor. A chicken that you were able to buy would feed the family for a few days. So he came before the Rabbi. The Rabbi looked at it, and he says, not kosher. Oh, she was so disappointed. Young girls. She knew the situation in the house. She took the box. She was crying. Tears. Passing by the Taz, and he is tied to some pole, and he looked at her and says, why are you crying? The Rabbi just show me the chicken. She showed him, and he said, this is kosher, it's good. You can have it. He said, but the Rabbi said, tell the Rabbi to look at the Taz, what the Taz wrote, in this page, that page. So 5 minutes later, she goes back to the Rabbi of the city, and she said, Rabbi, it looks like it's kosher, but I told you. Well, can you please look at the Taz, what the Taz says on the page so and so? He says, no problem. So he opened. To his amazement, it's kosher. He says, who told you that? And then he's thinking, oh, hold on 1 second, it's a girl telling me to look at the Taz. It's not, doesn't make no sense. And then he says, who told you? Oh, the guy that everybody's spitting on. This guy told me. He says, what? Quick investigation revealed the truth that this is the Taz himself. Well, the Rebbe asked for mechila. He was on the floor crying. So the Taz told him, the whole blame is on me. It was my choice. It was a great tikkun for me. I hid my identity. Machul, machul, machul. Meaning everything is forgiven. And the Taz was asked, why you interfere in something that the Rebbe says? What happened here? And the Taz says, when I saw the tears of this lady, this girl, I felt that all my avodat Hashem, all my Hashem service, worth nothing compared to these young girl tears. So I was willing to expose myself and lose the benefits of all this, what he went through. Bottom line, you can see the power of tears again. How is that related in any way to Haman and Mordechai? And how we be able to overcome the wicked Eysav tears? That and more we continue next week. Shavua Tov. Stay tuned.